The Chevrolet Equinox has long been a competent vehicle in the midsize crossover class ever since it debuted for the second generation in 2010, which is actually quite impressive since it's been on the market for this long without a full redesign. With substantial enhancements just last year, the Equinox continues into 2017 pretty much unchanged, besides 2 new packages for the LT trim level and a new Premier model that replaces the LTZ trim. So let's go ahead and check out and take a closer look at this 2017 Chevrolet Equinox. Now, the Chevrolet Equinox also shares the same platform with the GMC Terrain. However, the two vehicles look very different when it comes to exterior styling. The Equinox is a little bit sleeker, looks more like a car, and then the Terrain is a little bit blockier. Kind of looks like a brick on wheels, to be honest. But I like the looks of the Equinox just a little bit better. When Chevrolet updated this vehicle just last year, they updated the headlights, and then you have these new projector beam headlights, and then they also updated the front grille too. I really do love the looks of it. Looks more in line with the rest of the Chevrolet model lineup. And then you also do have the new taillights that they updated in 2016 too. Now, our trim of the Equinox we have here is a mid-trim level. It's a LT model, which is actually the most popular trim for the Equinox. And here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. It's typical Chevrolet switchblade key. You have your unlock, your lock, your remote engine start, and your panic alarm. Now, this color is known as the Mosaic Black Metallic. I actually really do love this color on the Equinox here. You also do have a full-on black cloth interior with your power driver seat controls, power recline, and power lumbar. Now, the step-in height is fairly low since we do have a crossover here. And the cabin design is certainly getting a little long in the tooth, but the Equinox is one of the oldest crossovers on the market. Like I said, this vehicle hasn't been fully redesigned since 2010, which is a pretty long time. But I do expect a full redesign for the Equinox as well as the GMC Terrain for the 2018 model year. And what you're hearing there is a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. Full leather wrapped steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, you have just a regular old 6-speed automatic here, and you also do have manual shiftability. Nothing too special going on here. No CVT, no dual clutch, none of that. You have a rear view camera with guidance lines and trajectory. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards. Let's go ahead and check out the exterior of the vehicle. Automatic driver's side window. And let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with blind spot detection. Now, when you actually combine the sales of the Equinox and the GMC Terrain, they actually are within the top 10 best-selling vehicles in America. 17-inch alloy wheels. Halogen projector beam headlights. And you have LED accents down below. Really do love the Volt-inspired front grille. Now, this engine choice is what most people are going to opt for. It's a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder that produces 182 horsepower at 6,700 RPM and 172 pound-feet of torque at 4,900 RPM, with the EPA estimates being 21 in the city and 31 on the highway for our front-wheel drive model. And you can go for all-wheel drive if you want. Now, the specs might look good on paper when you compare it to some of its competitors. However, it actually feels pretty sluggish behind the wheel. And I would certainly go for the V6 option. to get that extra power that the Equinox really needs. But the 6-speed automatic transmission is actually pretty responsive with this powertrain. But the only thing is that it doesn't really provide a whole lot of power with this 4-cylinder. I would certainly go for that V6. Pricing of the Equinox starts at the base L model, which starts at $23,100. The LS starts at $25,510. The LT, $26,750. And then the top of the line Premier starts at $30,040. Now, competitors of the Equinox, you have the vehicles in the compact to mid-size crossover class. The Equinox is slotted between a mid-size and a compact crossover. But you could compare it to the Ford Escape, the Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, and then GMC's Terrain as well. And then you also do have the Kia Sportage too, and the Hyundai Tucson and Nissan Rogue. There's just many competitors in this class. The Equinox is Chevrolet's best-selling crossover or SUV. On the top, you also do have roof rails. Coming to the rear of the vehicle, you have rear parking sensors, rear reflectors, and a rear window wiper with a rear window defroster and a third brake light. No shark fin antenna, however. All right, here goes the government 5-star safety ratings. Overall vehicle score is a 4-star, as you can see. And then the parts content information. The final assembly point for this vehicle is actually in Canada, but the engine and the transmission are all United States. And then total vehicle price is actually pretty pricey. It's $30,365. That's the MSRP there. And then EPA estimates, like I said, are 21 city, 31 highway. Of course, you have all of your basic power necessities: power windows, power mirrors, and your power door locks, chrome interior door handles. Interior quality of the Equinox is okay at best. Some of the materials just feel pretty chintzy inside of here, like on the upper door panel, it's all hard touch plastic, and on the dashboard it's all hard touch plastic as well. And don't expect to find anything like stitching on the dash or anything like that. This is kind of a ho-hum interior. It's a little plain Jane looking, to be honest, and even in the top of the line Premier model. And then also some of the trim and pieces creak a little bit and then they don't fit. So interior quality leaves a little something to be desired in the Equinox. The steering wheel design in the Equinox is also getting pretty dated looking. I do love Chevrolet's newer steering wheel designs, but this is one of their older ones. Coming over here, you do have your cruise control, and then your steering wheel mounted audio controls and Bluetooth phone controls. The steering wheel also does manually tilt and telescope with a decent range of adjustment. Up here you have your OnStar, map lights, and then down here you will find a little storage compartment with a 12-volt power outlet down there, right in the center. Then you have dual cup holders. Then you have your eco mode, which helps save fuel a little bit. Then you have your traction control off button. Then you have a little cell phone holder. And then you have a very deep center console, one of the deepest center consoles I've ever seen in a vehicle. And then you also do have your USB port and then your auxiliary input down there, and then you have this tray right here too. Lots of storage space in the center console. Over, it's like a cave down there. But the center console lid is also nice and soft touch too. One thing I really love about the Equinox's interior is these seats. These seats are very comfortable and very plush. They're great for long road trips. One of the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in a crossover. Visibility is okay out of the Equinox too. There's a decent amount of glass area. The A-pillars have pretty wide bases, but when you get to rearward visibility, it's just like the average crossover. It's not too bad. And the rear quarter window isn't too small either, but at least a rear view camera does come as standard equipment. You also do have your climate controls, which have a pretty high quality feel to them. You have your temperatures right here, and then your different zones, and your fan speeds are located on this dial right here. And then you have your recycling, front window defroster, rear window defroster, and your 3-stage heated seats for the driver and the front passenger. Coming right here to these buttons down here, this is for your vehicle info. And then you have your trip odometer, gives you your fuel range, your average fuel economy, shows you a little bar too. Then you have your average vehicle speed, your timer, navigation. Just basic stuff, pretty much. And then coming to the gauges on the instrument cluster, you have your tachometer on the left, and then your speedometer on the right. Fuel gauge is up there, and then your coolant temperature is right there too. And the font is pretty big and bold on the gauges here. Now, one thing I do love about the Equinox is that it does have a pretty good amount of interior space, especially when you compare it to some other compact crossovers like the Toyota RAV4 and the Ford Escape. The Equinox is one of the roomier crossovers out there. Now, one thing that I really don't like about the Equinox is that you have to step up all the way to the LT trim level just to get Bluetooth audio. The LS or the L, they don't offer Bluetooth audio. Now let's get to the main head unit and the infotainment system. Now this is the Chevrolet MyLink system. However, this is their older head unit. This is not the same head unit that you'll find on many of other Chevrolet's vehicles, such as the Colorado, the Cruze, Volt, Tahoe. All those vehicles have Chevrolet's newer head unit. This is their older system here, and I rather much prefer their newer head unit. I really don't like this head unit too much. It's all right though. This is your home screen right here, and one thing I really don't like about this Chevrolet MyLink system is where it's placed in the Equinox. It's just a little far within the driver's reach, and then when you're trying to reach up here to like the home screen button, this really gets in the way a lot. Now, your different audio sources do include all of the norm. You have your AM, FM, XM satellite radio. You also do have Bluetooth audio. Since we do have the LT model, like I said, you have to step up to the LT model to get Bluetooth audio. You also do have Pandora internet radio and Stitcher too. And then you have your auxiliary inputs, all that basic stuff. And then coming to right here, it shows your destination. You can enter in your address for your navigation by just entering it in, or you can do points of interest, previous destinations, and then you can have an address book if you would like, and then you have your My Home, and then you can select something from the map too. You also do have live weather, gives you the wind, the humidity, all that good stuff. And then this is your navigation system. This is the map. The map quality is alright. Like I said, I rather much prefer the map on Chevrolet's newer head unit, but this will do. You have your points of interest on here, then you also do have your live traffic, all that good stuff. And then you have your phone. You can hook up your Bluetooth phone, have all of your contacts stored on here. Then you also do have your OnStar hands-free calling too. Then you have pictures, fuel prices, quick info. Let's go to quick info right here. It shows you basic info such as the audio info, navigation info, 5-day forecast, nearby fuel stations, and then movie show times. Right here you also do have your presets, and then you have your seek buttons right here. The responsiveness of this touchscreen is pretty good, but it's just not ergonomically correct, and I really don't like where it's placed in the Equinox, and I rather much prefer Chevrolet's newer head unit. Now, driving the Equinox, it certainly has a decent balance between good ride comfort and good handling, and it provides agreeable driver engagement. However, there are some other compact crossovers that do offer a little bit more nimble handling and a little bit more driver engagement, such as the Ford Escape and the Mazda CX-5. Now, the ride is very comfortable in the Equinox. It just soaks up road bumps very well. It's a very pleasant highway cruiser, I have to say. It's very smooth and subdued, and it's pretty quiet as well. And if you want, you can step up to the 3.6 liter V6, which I highly recommend, as this 2.4 liter four-cylinder just feels a little sluggish at times. It's certainly needed for how big this vehicle is. And the 6-speed automatic transmission never hesitates to shift. It's pretty responsive. The fuel economy in the Equinox is also on par with the rest of the class. It's not excellent, but it's not terrible either. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and shut down the Equinox. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Let's go ahead and check out the cargo space as well as the rear seat passenger space. Materials do follow through in the rear. It's soft touch on the armrests and on the mid door panel. Hard touch on the upper door panel. Now, sitting back here in the Equinox, it actually feels like a limo back here. There's plenty of legroom and plenty of headroom. And like I said, this is one of the roomier compact crossovers in the class. You also do have dual mat pockets back here and a 12-volt power outlet. The seats themselves are just as comfortable as the front ones. They're nice and plush, and they offer a decent amount of thigh support, much better than what you will find in the RAV4 or the Ford Escape. And you do have a rear center armrest with cup holders, and the headrests are also adjustable back here. There's no headrest for the middle seat, however. The second row seats also do recline, and they do slide forward and aft for greater comfort, which is nice. A lot of compact crossovers don't offer that. Alright, now let's go ahead and check out the cargo space. Now, the Equinox's cargo space is a little on the smaller side compared to some rivals. You have a spare tire, and then you have your 12-volt power outlet. The Equinox also doesn't offer third row seating, but competitors like the Nissan Rogue do offer third row seating. And you can also compare this vehicle to the Kia Sorento if you want, which offers third row seating. The rear seat also does fold down, 60-40 split. Fully manual passenger seat, Glovebox Compartment. So the 2017 Chevrolet Equinox is an okay choice for a compact crossover. However, it's certainly getting a little dated, and it's time for a full redesign for this vehicle. But some nice things about it is that it does offer a pretty comfortable and roomy interior, as well as an available V6 engine, which many other crossovers don't offer, especially this size of vehicle. And then also, it does have pretty pleasant driving dynamics. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.